guys, it's Livia. So I was just watching videos from Five Sauce on tour, and Luke is just so cute and we'd be so cute together. And so that got me to thinking about something I've wanted to talk to you about for a while, which is how I basically know Five Sauce and One Direction. So there's this theory out there called the theory of 6 degrees of separation, which basically says that everyone in the universe is connected through degrees of 6. So basically through saying a friend, like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend, you are connected to everyone in this universe. Now the first time I heard it, I thought it was really interesting, but I thought it was kind of stupid because I was like, that cannot be. But then I basically know One Direction and Five Sauce 3 different times, so I'm going to tell you those to you now. So the first time was the beginning of the school year last year. One of my best friends since we were like 4 texted me and goes, "Hey, do you remember Jesse?" And I was like, yes. And she goes, "He's opening for Five Sauce in their European tour right now." And I was like, what? So my friend is family friends with Desiree. I say that because that's his stage name and I've known him since he was 13 and was just Jesse. So that's why it's weird for me to say Desiree. But yeah, they were family friends and they don't like talk as much now. But yeah, she like saw him on Instagram or something, or I don't know how they got in contact. But yeah, so he was opening for Five Sauce on their tour. So through one of my closest friends, her family friend, opening for Five Sauce. So the next way is how I know One Direction. So my roommate last year, we decided to room together because we had in common that we both loved Five Sauce and One Direction. So one day we were talking about our summer and I was like, oh yeah, I got to see Five Sauce and One Direction in concert. Did you go? And she didn't. And I was like, oh, why didn't you go? They were in Irvine. She goes, yeah, but I saw them 6 times on their Take Me Home tour. And so I said, why did you see them 6 times on their Take Me Home tour? And she goes, funny story. So her dad was on vacation in Ireland, and so my roommate, let's call her Taylor, told her dad, "Dad, you really have to go to Mullinger just to say that you've been where Niall lives." So her dad goes to Mullinger and he's in a store and he sees Greg, which is Niall's older brother. So he walks up to him and explains that his daughter's a big fan, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Greg invites Taylor's dad over for dinner. And somehow that led to him being invited to Greg's wedding and Theo's christening, and they almost stayed in Taylor's guest house on Take Me Home when they were in Irvine, but ended up not happening. I don't know if it was for security reasons or what, but still. And then she got hooked up with going to Take Me Home 6 different times when they came to Southern California. Unfortunately, Taylor wasn't able to go to the wedding and to the christening. Her brother and the rest of her family was able to go though. And so she has a video message from Niall. She has a copy of the menu with Niall's signature. Greg is still in contact with her dad. They're still like best buds. And so he sent Taylor a sweatshirt from Trinity College in Dublin. So me, my roommate, her family, Greg, Niall, One Direction. And if you actually want to go further, One Direction met the royals, met the Queen of England, so that's how I'm connected to them. And Harry dated Taylor Swift, so that's how I'm connected to Taylor Swift. And once you get to Taylor Swift, you get to the entire country music community. And then you get to like Derek Hough, who knows Sean Johnson. So see, that's way more than 6 degrees, but that's the process of what it is when it's like a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. So this last way is so close that I literally cannot get closer to knowing 5 Seconds of Summer. Next time I get this close, it'll be because I'm actually meeting them, because I cannot get close to this in degrees of separation. So during my Disney college program, I had a shift. It was like, I want to say my first week out of training. So it was a brand new location and I was working with 2 other CPs. One of them was a girl and she is an ICP, so she was from Australia. We're just talking, getting ready to go out on set, and so we're asking her about Australia. So I'm like, oh, what part are you from? And she goes, Sydney. And so I say, oh, have you heard of the band 5 Seconds of Summer? I'm a huge fan of them. And she goes, huh, yeah, I know of them. And I was like, yeah, I know they went to school in Sydney and like they're really big now. And she goes, yeah, I grew up with them. I went to school with them. And so I'm like, what? Like my mind is blown. You're telling me this as I'm about to go out on set for one of my first shifts ever. She informs me that she knows Luke Hemmings in the flesh. So I was just like, oh my gosh, freaking out. And she continues to tell me that her sister's 20th birthday party was a couple months ago and all the boys were there and yeah, they're great friends and she grew up with them, etc, etc. And so of course I'm like, well, you know what? If Luke ever breaks up with his girlfriend and is looking for someone who is awesome and he would look really cute with, let him know I'm single. But yeah, that is how I am 1 degree of separation away from Five Sauce. Now, usually I feel like the degrees of separation explains things more like why I have mutual friends with people on Facebook, or how, you know, if you meet someone from your community or someone's cousin, you realize that you're actually connected a whole different way. I don't know, I come from like a smallish community, so we all pretty much like have mutual people. But yeah, that is how I know 5sauce and One Direction, and why I am just so like, I want to meet them because I'm so flippin' close. I wanted to meet them while I was at Disney World. That was my big hope, that while I was working, I was gonna get to meet them, but that didn't happen. So now I gotta come up with some other way to meet all those guys. Anyway, that is my theories of 6 degrees of separation video and how I know 5sauce and One Direction. Why don't you play along with this, see if you have any connections. Tell me in the comments below who you are connected to. Anyway, I hope you guys like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Remember to keep dreaming out loud. And if you dream hard enough, we can all meet these celebrities that we are so closely connected to. Okay, hope you guys have an awesome day. Bye.